Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How low, how low, hello, how low, hello, hello. Turn the lights out. Here we are now. Entertain us. Is this dangerous? Sorry. Hello everybody, my name is Calamative Joe and welcome to the Minecraft stream. I don't know who's watching the stream, but I want to say welcome to you everybody. Alright, with my comedic antics aside, welcome to the stream everybody. Let's just go and dump the stone because we don't need that. We've got a few people watching this. We've got somebody watching the live stream straight away, but I don't know who's watching the stream because there's nothing in the live chat right now. But someone's probably about to say first. But you never know. You never know. You'll never know if you don't go, hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. All that glitter is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. I love a chaotic start to the stream. I don't know about you guys. I love a chaotic start to the stream. Right, tell you what. We will have the greatest clearage out in history. We're going to take this stuff away. First. There, happy. I knew someone was going to comment first. That was a joke. That was just a joke. But I knew people were going to... I knew someone was going to comment first because that always happens. And half the time you've got a trillion thirsts, which I find quite funny. Half the time you've got a trillion thirsts. And no seconds. They act like it's a trophy. Oh my god, I'm first! Oh my god, I'm first! Yes, so was the other 33 people that watched it before you commented. I've never done it. I commented once, something similar. I wondered why the poll... I thought I made the poll 100%. I made a poll... My comment was, I made this poll 100%. Until then I found out that I was the only person that voted on this poll. But they honestly, they act like it's an award. Wow, I'm first. Yeah. You were the quickest there, but then basically by the time you've commented, somebody else has already commented first. It's funny, it's hilarious. Why the hell have we got some jungle wood in here? But I'll leave it in there because I can't be bothered to get it out. It is hilarious. I love it. You hate acacia wood. Do you know what? I like it. I do like acacia wood. Sometimes it's useful. I like acacia wood sometimes. Sometimes it's useful, but sometimes it's overbearing. We're gonna aim to see if we can hit 8k subscribers, guys, by my birthday. So I am 23 in 2 months' time. So we're gonna see if we can do that. Only hate the not for the major ones like building a cave. Well, my birthday's in the end of December, so we're gonna aim to see if we can hit 8k by the end of December. But I don't think we're gonna do it. I'm gonna feel old this year. Well, I shouldn't actually feel old because I'm not old, but honestly, I had a comment a couple of months ago. I had a comment on a stream a couple of months ago. Oh, when did you create this world? Oh, 2016. And the person comments, oh, so you made this when I was 4. They made me feel so old because I suddenly realised that I'm 10 years older than they are. I suddenly, they made me old because I suddenly feel old because I suddenly realised that I'm 10 years older than they are. 8 views currently. Yeah, I said it's if I stream another game. If I stream another game, then it doesn't. Not many people go and watch it. But when we stream Minecraft, that's why I stream Minecraft the most, because more people still love Zalrod. Zalrod is such a fun villain. I tried to. Do you like the name? Do you like the name Zalrod? The name's funny, yeah, because I come up with that name when I was 10. Because obviously the... So, I can give you a thing of how it changed. Tiny hand. Well, yeah, the whole point of the Zalrodians is they're short. So the Zalrodians only stand 5 foot tall. The Zalrodians are basically like green balls, sharp teeth, 2 legs, 4 arms, and sharp teeth. That's basically what they are. They're more like slugs. They're more like basically walking, talking slugs. That's sort of. Initially, it wasn't a story about an alien invasion. It was about somebody on the run from their evil uncle. And their uncle had an alien friend called Zalrod. And then eventually I manufactured in that Zalrod was trying to invade. And then I basically switched the story around. So the uncle turns around. Initially, the uncle turns around and goes, he's gone too far, and helps them take down the alien. But then I switched it around. So the alien invades. I switched it around. So I switched everything around and just changed some names. Well, I actually based Agent 1 off myself when I was younger. Which, I do base him off myself. It's certain aspects. I don't really sound British. Yeah, but what would you define as British, Loot Games? What would you define as British? Because there is... Great Britain has so many accents, has a lot of accents. So it depends though. It depends what you would define as British, because a lot of accents are completely different. The UK's got the highest amount of accent variations in the world. You can go from town to town and sound completely different. So I sound completely different to the person that lives literally like, you know, Scotland. But yeah, even Scotland has so many different accents. So what you would define as British, what would you define as British, is completely different based on your perspective. Every accent in the UK is a British accent. So you can't really say what a British accent is. An accent that is deemed as British is just an accent that hails from the UK. So Scottish, English, Welsh accents, all of them. Every accent. That's what... They have multiple accents. Yeah, Scotland have multiple accents. They have Glaswegian, you know, they have like the... They have Glaswegian accents. Aberdeen, I think even Aberdeen have accents. Yeah, they all have different accents. Hello, Pixel King. Welcome back to the stream. But yeah, every country, every part of the UK has different accents. My accent is completely different to the person, to the... No, it's just those 4. Great Britain is England, Scotland and Wales. And then to make it up the UK, it's officially the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Officially, on official documents, it's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So Scotland, England and Wales are Great Britain, because that's the name of the island. And then Northern Ireland's by itself. You're Scottish. Cool. But yeah, every accent's different. Scotland has so many different accents. England has so many different accents. Where am I from? I'm from the southwest, so my accent's completely different. Every accent's completely different in the UK. Where you're from, your accents, everyone's accent's different. It's fun. I love the background Minecraft music. Yeah, the music's quiet because I kept getting copyright claims. Bottle of water. Yeah, that's not actually how we say that. I say bottle of water. Bottle of water. Some accents are different. So some accents overdo the O over the T. My accent overdoes the R, overdoes the A. So basically, for me, it'd be water. You hear a bit of an on the end of it. So the A. So for example, because I think I lived longer. He lived in here longer. My accent. Oh, yeah. Are you living in America then? Loot Games. No, you're not confusing me. Yeah, that's probably why then. If you're living in another place, sometimes you do lose the accent. So, for example, it depends. How long have you been living in America for? Never, Paul. How long have you been living in America? Oh, but I still keep my accent. I'm not going to forget it. No. How long have you been living in America for? Like a couple of years? Your accent... Your accent... If you've got an accent... 2 years. Yeah, and you're like 13, yeah. Your accents... You normally have an... Your accent starts to thing when you're 7. Nintendo, it'd be Nintendo Switch, but it's not really. It's not really a thing. It's an A. So for me, so I say Nintendo Switch, or as my dad calls it, Nintendo, because he can never say anything correctly. Nintendo. Fucking football player called football player playing for Everton, Carlos Alcaraz. And he keeps calling him Carlos Alcatraz. So with him like... Yeah, when you're 7 years old, that's when you develop your accent. But then sometimes you might lose a bit of your accent. Nintendo. Carlos Alcatraz was on. Hello, yay, welcome to this room. I used to talk like I was Western. A Western accent? Does my Western accent sound very good, guys? Is town not big enough for the two of us? What do you think? Is my accent good? There's nothing to retired governor. I want to be the president of the United States of America. My fellow Americans, I have to admit that I don't understand a word you're saying, and I don't understand how to run the government. But I'm just going to sit here for the next 4 years and pretend to do absolutely nothing. But even when I mean pretend, I actually mean do nothing. What do you guys think? Is my accent good? No, that was George Bush, actually. that was a George Bush impression. I saw your other stream. Oh, thank you, the FIFA one. Thank you. Yeah, we streamed FIFA for a little bit. That's some country accent. Yeah, but my accent's actually called a country accent, so it's basically, I find it similar because that's my country's accent. You're completely obsessed with marine life. Are we talking about actual marine life or a video game? I don't know what we're talking about. Are we talking about actual marine life, like, you know, going out and catching fishes, looking at dolphins, or are we talking about actual the game? Arthropods. Oh, cool. I recommend you a song. You up with it. You can recommend us a song. We don't play songs on streams because, you know, copyright. How many times has this guy watched your stream? I've got to be honest. I don't know who it is. I know who Metallica is. Like, I do know who Metallica is. Like, I'm not. Yeah, my FIFA game. Yeah, I was streaming FIFA. I'm recording. Bye. Goodbye, Loot Games. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you for watching the live stream. That's really kind of you. And have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next stream. Thank you for watching. Oh shit! I thought we were gonna make that because we made it the other day. That wasn't very good, were it? Oh god. Ah, let's just sleep for a minute. Do 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 do. La 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 la. Do do do. Right, we're gonna rush over here, pick up that stuff. I don't know how much stuff we had. I'm going to put that there a minute. Right, I think that was everything we had actually. So, have we got rid of the chests across here yet? How much can we... I actually kind of wish we had some flint and steel. I'm going to go and see if I can find some in a minute. Because there's some shit here we could probably just burn. There's a floating tree there. How long has that been there? I've never noticed that. Now I've noticed it, I probably won't unsee it as well, but that's... Now I've noticed that, I probably will not unsee it, but... So... I'm just looking for... I just want some flint and steel. I suppose there is another thing we could have done. We could have gone for that nether portal, which we've actually broke, so... I swear, I think Trump will either die or stroke cardiac arrest in 2066 because, as far as I'm concerned, he's not healthy at all. Well, you can say the same about Biden though as well, Pixel King. But you got to think, you know, Donald Trump lies about his height. Like, he's not 6'3" anymore. Like, he was next to Prince William the other week. Donald Trump was literally next to Prince William, like, I think about a week or two ago. When he was in the UK on his state visit, he was next to Prince William, and Prince William is also like a big guy. He is 6'3" himself, and there's no way Donald Trump's 6'3", because Donald Trump is reportedly 6'3". There's no way Donald Trump's 6'3", because Prince William of the Prince William, the King Charles's oldest child, he's 6'3" himself, and if you look at the images of them, Prince William literally towers over him. Well, not towers, but it's big enough to know that it's big enough to know that they're not the same height. I don't know. They say 6'3", but 6'3", 6'2", but there's no way he's 6. There's no way he's 6 foot. They say 6'3". I'm gonna put it in Decepted. I'm gonna put it in Decepted's. I'm gonna put it in Decepted's general chat, not mine. I'm gonna put it in Decepted. I'm gonna put it in Discord, but in Decepted's Discord server. That is Prince William, and that is Donald Trump, and they're both reportedly 6'3". And I would have a guess that there's probably a good 3 inches. There's probably a good 3 or 4 inches there between them. I think Trump's about 5'11". I think Trump's about 5'11", 6 foot, maximum. I'm not saying he's not, but I don't think he's 6'3". Yeah, this was it. This was it, Pixel King. He's described as 6'3", but the image of them, yeah, they list his height as 75 inches. But Prince William is 6'3" himself, and they said there was probably about 4 or 5 inches between them. I think they like touching everything, to be honest. But yeah, there's no way, literally, there's no way he's... There's only one way to measure it up. There's only one way to measure that up, though. There's another way they could use to prove that he's not. You know, his one son is 6'8". His one son is like 6'8" or something like that. His one son is something like 6'8". So there should only be like a 5-inch difference between them. So a 5-inch, that's like 5 inches is about 10 centimeters because it's 2.5 centimeters. So 2.5, yeah, 2 inches is 5 centimeters. 4 is 10. So there's only about 12 centimeters between them. So there's definitely more than 12 centimeters between them. Yeah, you might generally be taller than him, Pixel King. You might be. Because there's at least that image showed at least that image showed at least 5 inches between Trump and Prince William, and they're meant to be the same height. Also, take 3 inches off. He's probably about 5'10". He's probably 5'11", 5'10". Maybe 5'11". Well, I can understand that comment because America was. I can understand that bit because America historically is English, but then that's the Americans' fault because why did they go and take Spanish lands? Donald Trump says that English should be their language of America, which, yeah, America is an English speaking country. But the only reason that it's not an English-speaking country is because the Americans decided to go to war with Spain, and then at the end of the war, they started at the end of that war, they wanted Spain to give them all this Spanish land. So it's actually the Americans' fault. Now that they're complaining, but it's the Americans' fault because they decided they wanted they wanted all this Spanish land. Right. Using this fire, we can put that in there. Using this fire, we're basically getting rid of things that we don't require. We can now go through this chest and get rid of stuff that we don't want. I know, sorry. My dad came upstairs and my sister followed my dad just to yap. Yeah, I saw your comment, Pixel King, about a civil war. America's been close to going to a civil war for years. Like, they were talking about it in 2020. I remember in 2021 they were talking about a civil war. When Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in 2021, they thought that would lead to a civil war then. That would have been a civil war. If they'd successfully overturned the US election results, that would have been a civil war. Because that would have been somebody trying to overturn a democratic constitution. That would have been a civil war. But there's civil war. There are civil wars. There's been a civil war in the Sudan. I think it's Sudan. 7 years. There are civil wars out there at the moment. There's been one in Myanmar, or formerly Burma. There's been a civil war now there since 2021, and they've been fighting. The military decided the military organised a coup and basically took out a democratically elected government. But yeah, I can't see America going to a civil war. I mean, I can't really see it, but it might happen. I mean, the UK haven't had a civil war in, 400 years. There was a civil war in England, everybody. England has had a civil war. They had the English Civil War and that was about that was against the king. Very briefly in English history, for a period of 11 years, England was a republic. During the 17th century, in the 1650s, England was a republic. It was called the Commonwealth of England. The Commonwealth of England was the political structure during the period from 1649 to 1660, when the Kingdom of England, later along with Ireland and Scotland, were dissolved into a republic after the end of the Second English Civil War and the trial and execution of Charles I. It was ruled by Oliver Cromwell for 5 years and then his son for a year. Oliver Cromwell, who was basically the soldier that basically won the Civil War for the Parliament, he was the Lord Protector it's a position that's only ever existed once. He was the Lord Protector of England, Scotland and Wales, and that was his position. Hello Omnivale, welcome to the stream. I'm really good, how are you? We were making jokes just then about Donald Trump's height, because Donald Trump claims he's 6'3", and there was a picture of him and Prince William a few weeks ago, and Prince William generally is 6'3". And let's just say there was a massive difference between the two of them. It was a joke, everybody, but it is true. Prince William is 6'3". And looks about 6 foot. He looks about 8 foot compared to Trump, which is kind of funny. There's no way. I just put an image in my Discord server, in my friend's Discord server. There's no way. There's no way. Oh my god, the God bless you guys just doing my head in. We got a guy in my friend's Discord server, and he basically decepted, jokingly called me gay the other day. And the guy's like, you would never call your friends gay. Oh, you make up, now you're being mean to me. Oh my, I think this guy's like mentally like challenged or something like that. I feel bad, but he just keeps trying to be weird. Hello, Levo Crow on stream. I'm doing fine, thanks. My school term has ended this Friday, and then I'll have a week off. Then a week after I come back, I have mocks. That's great, isn't it? But then those mocks are useful in case you're ill during your exams. Mock exams obviously give you a they give you an indication of where you're at, and also if you're ill or mentally incapacitated during your exams, during your real exams, they use the mocks. So, for example, when the year after I left school, they went to teacher expected grades. Teacher expected grades was used for 2 years because of obviously COVID. And it feels weird. So, since when do you play FIFA? Since I was about 18, 19. I've played FIFA for ages. You just haven't been subscribed long enough. I've played FIFA. I've streamed FIFA at odd points throughout the last couple of years. I just don't stream it a lot because half of you guys don't watch them. I'm not meaning you guys in particular, but what I meant is that, yeah, I try and stream other games, but I don't get that many people that go and watch them. So, in the first 40 minutes of this stream, we've almost got the same amount of views that we got on the FIFA stream. I only bought the new FIFA game just because it was... I got 20% off, so I bought it. But yeah, mock exams are useful. You hate them when you do them, but after you leave, you hate them when you do them. That was my thirst time. Yeah, I've played FIFA for a long time. I have all the FIFA games back until 2020. I have all the FIFA games stretching back till 2021, and then I have the 2013 one, and I have the 2008 one. Yeah, I don't play every game. I got to be honest, guys. I had someone on the stream earlier on when I was doing FIFA telling me to play a different game. I'm like, even though I do play other games, guys, I do stream. Even though I do stream other games, I'm not going to go and stream. I'm not going to go out my way to buy a game because someone wants me to stream it. If you get what I mean. Yeah. The English Civil Wars are called the Wars of the Three Kingdoms. The Wars of the Three Kingdoms lasted 14 years. It started with the English Civil Wars that lasted for the first and second English Civil Wars, then the Irish Confederate Wars, then the Cromwellian conquest of Ireland, then the Anglo-Scottish War of 1650 to 52. This resulted in the execution of Charles III, the abolition of the monarchy, and then the founding of the Commonwealth of England, a unitary state controlled within the British Isles, until they put the monarch back on the throne in 1660. Incredible history. Can you say this? No, I'm not saying that because there's no relevance to me saying it. It's just a meme that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, guys. Like, 100% it don't make sense. No, I'm not going to say that either. Everybody wants to rule the world. I've got some ideas for what I can... I've got some ideas for things I want to do. Guys, should I just do... To celebrate like 10,000 subs, should I do like a hit? Should I write a book and it's just the history of my Minecraft world? I don't know. I thought it'd be funny. Can you say pizza? Well, pizza is nice. My two favourite foods are pizza and burgers. Guys, is this a fat meal? Is this a fat meal? I went to McDonald's Saturday night. And I made. I think I made the fat. I think I bought the fattest meal ever. Do you guys want to know what that meal was? Do you guys want to know what this meal was? I think I had what you would call the fat man meal. Have we got some dirt on us? Yes, we have. So we can just. Yeah, that meme, I have absolutely no idea what that means. Like, but it's because I'm not young. Hello, Beavers. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what that meme represents, Omnivore. But it might be because, guys, I'm 23 in literally 2 months' time. There's some memes that I just don't get. You know you're not fat because you went to McDonald's. No, I ordered a really stupid meal on Saturday. So, I went to this event, and I thought I'm going to go... I went to this event, and I thought I'll get McDonald's on the way back. So, I go to McDonald's. I order a Big Mac, large fries, and then I order 20 chicken nuggets and a caramelized wrap as well. And surprisingly, guys, I did eat everything. That's yeah, that's true. Beavers, that's true. Because people keep asking me to say things like that, and I'm like, no. That's the thing, though. I didn't have a stomachache. I didn't have a stomachache or anything. That's the funny thing. Sometimes if I have McDonald's, though, the thing is, though, guys, I love McDonald's. I do love McDonald's. I love food in general. Right, I'm gonna dump some of this in. I'm gonna see if I can dump all of this in this chest. I want to go and get some dirt. If I can go and get some dirt, I'm gonna go and finish doing that. I'm a big foodie. I think, but everyone's like, oh, some people are like, obviously, eat food. Some people, you know, moan about food and things like that. But you do need to eat food. That's the 100% the point. It's a cancer. It's literally called brain rot, and AI is going to make it worse. Yeah. AI, I do love some shit that comes out from AI. I did find one funny the other day. I found one funny the other day, but I legally can't tell you what it was. Because I'm probably going to get cancelled for finding it funny. I literally have no good in the house. Yeah. The thing is, though, the one thing I do, guys, I eat a lot of veg. I eat a lot of veg and stuff like that. But then sometimes I'm just like, I just want something nice. But it could be worse. It could be worse. I know a guy that has to write down. Exactly what he eats because he's really overweight. And I think he doesn't like veg. He doesn't like veg or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna have to eat it. That's true. I was just going for my morning jog, heading to the gym, when I accidentally ran into Raising Cane's. I don't even know what that is, but I've never even been in the gym. But I do have muscles, though, guys. I do have muscles. That's the funny thing. I actually do... I actually do have biceps, guys, but I've never been in the gym. I do know how much I can lift straight off the floor. Iceland ham. Jeez. Yeah, all of that's nice food, bar the Kievs. I don't like chicken Kievs. There's just something about them. I think it's the cheese. I don't think the cheese tastes very nice in them. I was still typing that. Sorry, that's all right. Food was amazing. But yeah, the funny thing is, I've never been in the gym, but I am. I mean, I love cheese, guys. I mean, I am actually a massive cheese lover, guys. So I do have a cheese board. Hold on, it's actually not on my desk. It was on my desk. I like normal cheese, but chicken Kiev, I don't like the cheese in that. But there's a lot of food out there that I like, guys. That's the thing. I always tell to people, it's because you're related to Wallace, right? Oh, I have been on the Aardman tour. Aardman that made Wallace and Gromit. I have been on the Aardman tour. In fact, I saw a job application the other week to work for them, and I'm like, oh, I would generally do it. But it was a position that I wouldn't be qualified for, so it was a position that I wouldn't be qualified for, that they were after, the Aardmen were after. They were after somebody with executive like capabilities, and I don't have executive capabilities. I mean, I love claymation, and I've worked on claymation stuff and things like that. I've worked on claymation stuff, but we just call it stop motion, because we don't even call it clay. We use they don't even use clay. They use plasticine, because plasticine doesn't leave your fingerprints on it. And plus, it's not that far away. It's not actually that far away, but the where they actually make it weren't that far away, but I was not qualified, so I didn't apply. Because you can apply, but then you'll just get rejected instantly if you're not qualified. But yeah, when I made the joke, guys, about never being in a gym, I have been in a gym, actually. They forced us to go in when I was in school. They forced us to go in the gym, which I hated, because it was always I hated because there wasn't much stuff in there. Well, there wasn't, but there was stuff in there. I know I could lift 35 kg at the on one of the things. Titanfall, I have heard of it. Never played it, but have heard of it. I knew I could lift 35 kg, guys, on one of those machines. But one of the ones that you press down. You sit down and press your arms down. I know I could do 35 kg. Which, not sure if that's good or anything like that, but I could do 35 kg on one of the ones that you had to sit down, put your arms, grab the pole and bring it forward. I could do 35 kg on one of those. I probably can't do now because I've put on a load of weight, but you never know. Yeah, when I was in school, they used to force us to go into the gym every week. Every week they'd force us into the gym. We had a girl in our class that was tiny, but she suddenly moved her leg and she moved 200 kg. Hands down, my favourite game of all time. It has been since I found it years ago. Cool. Yeah, my favourite game is Lego Star Wars, but that's because I played it because of what it meant to me as a child. I think when you look back at games, you look back and go, oh, because of how much it meant to you as a child, pretty much. I hated PE. Yeah, I hated it. Well, I didn't mind it in my early school years. Cross country for me was a run around the football field 3 times, then a run around the whole school 4 times. So we probably ran about 8 miles or something like that. Cross country was thing though. Cross country, I didn't mind it in my first year, But then when I was sort of like 14, obviously when you're 14, you're going through puberty and things like that. You're going through puberty, so obviously you're growing. It's like a chemical. It's like your body's like a chemical battlefield. That's a joke, but it kind of is. So when I was 14, I started gaining weight. So obviously I started like 2016 and like weighing like 6 stone or something like that. So like, you know, 38 kg or something like that. I went in at like 6 stone and I ended that year about 9.5, 10 stone. So I probably put on like 50 pounds that year. So I hated cross country. I hated cross country then because I was much heavier. So I wasn't as because I was much heavier. I wasn't as fast. So there was no way I was gonna. There's no way I was gonna do anything in it. And then it resulted in actually saying that. No, it was 2017 because I didn't do cross country in 2016 because I broke my ankle. I injured my ankle. I injured my ankle in 2016 October time, so roughly about 9 years ago. Roughly about 9 years ago. So about 9 years ago then, guys, I injured my ankle when I was in school because somebody kicked me down the flight of stairs. But then that's the whole thing though, Beavis. When you are like bigger or overweight or bigger, you can run, but not for long. For example, I saw a clip of somebody the other week. I think they were 6 foot and like 230 pounds, 240 pounds, or something like that. They ran for 10 seconds, then were out of breath. They ran for... But then that's sort of the case, if you get what I mean. And it's also if you're tall. If you're taller and taller... Tell a story to getting kicked down the stairs. Well, there's not much story. That's not really a story. It's more of a... I was just going down the stairs and somebody put their foot in my back. I can run maybe for a minute and then lose my breath, but before it was like 15 seconds. Yeah, but also, Pixel King, you're like 13, so... when you're like 13, 14, you do start... some weight just does start to disappear. I did actually know a guy, though. I did actually know a guy in my school year. He was really overweight for his entire schooling system. Then he basically took he started taking drugs, and then he became real skinny. That's a way of doing it. So yeah, I guarantee everyone here is taller than I was when I was 2016. I mixed 16 up with 2016 then. I guarantee everyone here is taller than I was when I was 14. So, when I was 14, I was literally... I was playing a game of rugby when I'd be out of breath if I tried to run one length. Yeah, I would be the same. Like, the thing is, though, I'm really quick. I'm terrible at running flat out. I'm terrible at running. If I'm in a race with someone and it's like flat out sprint, I'm terrible. If it's a flat out like 100-meter sprint, I'm absolutely terrible at it but if it's like, you know, 1,000 meters, if it's 1,000 meters, my acceleration's good. My acceleration's good then, but I'm not fast enough to I don't have that type of speed, everyone, to go and flat out. I can't flat out beat somebody. If it's like a long run, takes us to get to top speed. Yeah. If I'm running against someone, yeah, I can run against someone, but I can't if they're like really fast and get a really, you know, very good at sprinting straight out, then I can't catch them. But if they're one of those, do that and then get tired towards the finish line, then I catch up. And it was an interesting thing of I used to when I was in school I used to be forced to do we used to have to do the 400 meters we used to have to do the 400 800 meters in schools. I'd always win the 800 meters, the 400 meters. I'd always win that in PE lessons. I'd always win that, but I couldn't win the 100 meters. I used to always finish like 5th or 6th, maybe 7th, 8th. Because I couldn't do flat out sprint. 800 is 2. 800 is 2. So I would always be, with 800 meters, I would start slow enough that with the 800 meters, I would start slow enough that I'm within the 800 meters. I'd start slow enough that I know that slow enough but fast enough that I'm still in like the top 5. But then I would actually turn it on like the last lap. And I did it when I was in year 7, and I ended up winning the race by about half the pitch, because I ended up lapping. I went past this person and I turned around. I turned around and looked. I'd like to do a 400 meter now, out of curiosity. Yeah, 400 meters is just a full lap. 400 meters is interesting. 400 meters, because it's like a full lap, you have the faster people start, but then they tire themselves out. So if you're going slow enough, because the more detail they put into the game. So I bought the new FIFA game last night because I got a 20% discount off it via having FC25. It took 4 hours to download, so basically I jumped into bed last night, probably about I don't know 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, because I was just writing a book and I was writing this book and watching a bit of telly. But I was watching a movie and I just led in bed and let the game download, and then it finished about 2 in the morning. So I just popped on, had a look what the game had, what was new, and then went to bed. There might be, but yeah, what was that? What was I mentioning? It was something I forgot. Yeah, the story of me getting kicked down the stairs. That was just that somebody walked past. I was walking down a flight of stairs, stone stairs, and somebody did it. So it didn't help. It didn't help that I gained a load of weight across the month or two before. So I gained like 3 stone. So that's, I don't know, 40 pounds or something like that. And I fell, and my 4 weights landed on my one ankle, and my ankle rolled. So I got to the top of the stairs, guys, and my ankle had swelled up to the point that they couldn't take my shoe off. My ankle had swelled up to the point that they couldn't get my shoe off. So my ankle had swelled up to the point they couldn't take my shoe off. So it was like, yeah, this is serious. I will admit, I have done a bit of duplication on this world. Because I've had the word for so long, and I've basically explored everywhere. I've done a little bit of duplication, but only if I wanted to build something. Well, it wasn't broken. It was really sprained. But I've fixed that now. By I always wear a shoe size too big. But I have to do that anyway, guys. I've always had to do that. But that can never happen to me again, guys, because I'm practically forced now to wear a shoe size that's too big anyway. So my shoes always, if I've injured my ankle or it's swelled up, my foot's always going to come out of my shoe, because I have to wear a shoe size, guys, that's too big anyway. I have to wear a shoe size, guys, that's either a size too big or 2 sizes too big, because of having wide feet, which is awkward. It's awkward. I mean, the higher the shoe size, the more expensive. So me having feet too wide for my shoe size means that I've got to go and buy a shoe size. I've got to go and buy a shoe sizes, you know, a size or 2 sizes bigger. And plus, having that issue actually means that my ankle, if my ankle ever swelled up like that again, I would get the shoe off, which is the funny thing. So basically, guys, my shoe size is 6.5. My shoe size is 6.5, but I have to go and buy size 7 or 8 because my feet are wide. And at least that makes sure that my ankle will never swell. If my ankle swells up, I can get my shoe off. It won't be a thing. It won't be a thing of. That won't be a thing of. We got to get this out. We got to cut his shoe off. Like, I wonder if that's ever happened to someone. Like they've had to cut his shoe off. Excuse me, sir. You've damaged your foot. Here, let me cut it off. It's like what they did in the Grand Tour. Richard Hammond, when he injured himself on the Grand Tour, they had to cut his trousers off. So the next episode, they took the piss and gave him some gifts, but they gave him trousers that just tear apart, so they never have to cut his trousers again. Yeah, he broke both on the Grand Tour. He broke both legs in a hill climb. I don't drive, guys, so I don't know how bad it is, because I haven't learned how to drive. I could have learned to drive 5 years ago, but I just never got round to it. Oh God. Yeah, PE was weird. Do you guys want to know the story about how I almost got impaled by a javelin? About how I had to dive out the way of a javelin. I almost got killed by a javelin in school. So I'll actually tell this story because I think you guys will all find this hilarious. So everyone that's ever done PE, how do they do javelin? They always how do they match you up? Because normally they got to match you up. What a way to go, yeah. So they did this thing they would force us to match ourselves. They would match us up with another person, and we had to mark where their javelin is. We had to stand opposite them and mark where their javelin went. But when I was about, I don't know, 13 and a half, 14. When I was about 13, 14, I was always a short kid. So I was about 5'1", 5'2". They matched me up with a guy in my class that was 6'4". So of course I'm everyone in my class is standing in a row, and the guy goes to throw the javelin, and everyone else is just standing there. Everyone else's javelins has just landed spots. We're all standing in a line, and I'm looking at this javelin. I'm like, this is coming from my fucking head. So I jumped out of the way, landed on my back, and the javelin landed exactly where my head would have been about. It landed exactly where my head would have been about 2 minutes before, about 20 seconds before. I had to jump out of the way. I would have been killed by that javelin. I marked where his javelin went. And I should have put. I wanted to put a note there that said where it almost killed me. But with a javelin thing, though, they should match you up via height. They should... Final Destination star. Yeah, they should match you up via height. So they should match someone that's 6'4". They should match someone that's like 6'4" or 6'5" with another person that's a similar height to them. But they matched me up. They matched me next to someone. Matched me up with someone that was 30... That was like nearly 40 centimeters taller than me. And they were like, yeah, this is good. This is fine. There was 14 inches between us. And his javelin went further than everyone else's, and it literally missed me by the skin of my teeth. So I'm alive. I'm only alive now because I dived out the way. We were stood in a line and threw away from everyone. Yeah, but they forced us to stand opposite so we could mark where their javelin landed. And it's just, yeah, that's just stupid, isn't it? That was the stupidest thing I've ever... It's a stupid decision. So yeah, I almost got killed by the javelin. I'm really glad though, because we had another guy in my school year, nice guy. He was a very good javelin thrower and would throw it like 30, 40 feet. I wish he'd been opposite me. To be honest, I haven't even started using Discord since the start of this year. Yeah, I've used Discord for a long time now. Deceptive's just called me gay. He's only called me gay because this guy's taking the... Me and Deceptive will call each other names like we're taking the piss, because obviously I'm really close friends with Deceptive. Like me and Deceptive take the piss with each other. It's a bit of banter. This guy from Armenia is basically taking offence to the fact that me and Deceptive like bantering each other. This guy doesn't like jokes, so he thinks everyone else shouldn't like him. This Deceptive gay. Yeah. Deceptive's Discord server is a little bit wilder than mine. But I like my Discord server, guys. I like it. There's about 80 people and it's all peaceful. It's all nice. A guy took offence to me yesterday. Who here has watched Austin Powers? Who here has watched the Austin Powers films? Has anyone here watched Austin Powers? Love Dr. Evil. Yeah, so you know the character Fat Bastard, Beavers, which Mike Myers also played. I've got Fat Bastard from Austin Powers is my profile picture at the moment. So basically, me and a friend puts Fat Bastard on a sign in Minecraft. Like we literally put like a picture of his face on a banner in Minecraft, and I looked at it through a spyglass, and I took a screenshot, and I made it my profile picture. So literally, my profile picture is literally an image, and it just says, Fat Bastard. There's a character called Fat Bastard in it. There's a character called Fat Bastard, and the joke is he weighs an imperial ton. He weighs a metric ton, so roughly 2,000 pounds. And every time he walks in, you hear like the ground shaking and things like that. And then he says to Mini Me, Dr. Evil's Mini Me, is that a baby? I'm bigger than you. I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly, and he wants to eat the baby. And so that's my profile picture at the moment. The character Fat Bastard. And a guy took offence and found it inappropriate because it says the word Fat Bastard. I'm like, but that's the character's name. It's a joke. It's a joke because that's what Deceptive calls me. That's what Deceptive calls me, guys. He calls me Fat Bastard after Fat Bastard from from Austin Powers, guys. And people have taken offence. Someone took offence to the fact that that's my profile picture at the moment. But it is a joke, guys. That's the reason I've put my profile picture as that, is because Decepted calls me Fat Bastard. It's basically that's his nickname for me. I'm going to change my nickname to that in Decepted server, actually. I'm just going to call myself Fat Bastard. Why is it not letting me change what I want? There we go. I've just changed my pronoun on Discord to I'm higher in the food chain. None of their business. That's true. First things first, where's your shitter? I got a turtle head poking out. Yeah, that's that one. Fat bastard. He was 1 metric ton. First things first, where's the shitter? I got a turtle head poking out. No shit, no kidding. I've got a crap on deck that can choke a donkey. Oh, it's squidgy. And if you actually watch it, if you actually go and watch it, if you actually go and watch Austin Powers, everyone, it's actually his voice for Shrek. Yeah, that's a line. That's actually the line. Straight after the bit about I'm higher in the food chain, that's the bit. He says, oh, it's squidgy. I'm getting all emotional for my crap. No, I do know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy. So, because I'm slightly overweight, my friend calls me fat bastard as a joke. So, and it all started from me because I jokingly recited the line from Austin Powers. But that's my profile picture on Discord. And a guy in my Discord server took offence and was complaining about how it was deeply inappropriate that my name was Fat Bastard. That my server name was Fat... That my profile picture was Fat Bastard. Which is... It is funny. It is very, very funny. This guy really took offence to it. Yeah, that guy, the Scottish character. If you go and watch it back, you realise that he actually is a Scottish accent. He actually is Shrek. It's actually his voice for Shrek. Ogres have layers, onions have layers. I can't do his accent actually. I can't do Shrek. It's my beautiful world. I watched Shrek the musical in school, but it's my beautiful world, and then he farts. It's my beautiful world. Literally, I could be 30 years old, guys, and a fart joke will still be funny. It's a thing, you know. Fart jokes are generally funny. Imagine moving your eyebrow up and then you fart. Ready? I love it's meant to be true at the coronation, where at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, it's meant to be true that one of the horses farted, and the Queen Mother, Elizabeth Bowles-Lyons, the Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth II's mother, was reportedly sat there, and she was very formal, very much believed in the monarchy, very much monarchy shouldn't do this, monarchy shouldn't do that, and she turned and said to the King of Tonga, oh, I'm sorry. And then the King of Tonga goes, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought it was the horse. It's true. It is funny. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Sorry, I've got a massive bushy beard at the moment, guys, and it's starting to really itch. But I can't shave it because no shaving your face until November's turning up. But I'm not going to shave, guys, because don't shave your face for November is coming up, and I'm not going to shave. There's some other people that do. I saw a thing once about someone that does it differently. There was somebody that would not shave at all in There was somebody that wouldn't shave at all. No, there's another one. There's another one about for men for charity. That's a different one. That's a different one. But then they call it Movember as well. But Movember is about for charity. But basically they encourage men to not shave their beards in But I had to do it so it's all the same length. Yeah. I don't trim it. I don't trim it. I honestly, I don't trim a beard. So basically, what I normally do is I don't go clean shaven though. I shave it down to the point that it's literally just like stubble, and then just let it grow again. So normally it's every 3 months. Normally I won't shave for like 3 or 4 months. But it's not. I can't grow a beard that big, guys. So if I put my finger in my beard, it only covers. My beard only covers from the top of my. It only covers at the top of my finger up until the first curve in my finger. But it's weird when they say about like growing a beard. When they say about growing a beard and things like that, I couldn't grow a full beard until I was like 20. I couldn't grow a full beard till I was like 20, 21. It would grow, but it would grow very slowly. It would grow, but it would grow really, really slowly. Like, I couldn't grow a full beard until I was like 20, 21. My friend can't grow one at all. Decepted can't grow one at all. Well, I've had that. I've had that. So you're born 2006. Are people born in 2006 20 years old next year? Blimey. People 4 years older than me are going to be 20 next year. I'm going to be 24 next year. Blimey. I find it really weird, actually. There's something I find really weird. My friend has this person in his Discord server. He come on randomly. I think he's like 15. He turned around and said his height to us or something like that. You know, he's taller than me, and I'm 8 years older than him. But I'm like, people born in 2010. There's people born in 2010 now that are taller than me, and you know, I'm thinking back when I was 15, they would have been like 7. Do you know what? It makes me feel old, guys. In fact, a lot of people watching these streams now are born. A lot of the people watching these streams now, my streams now, are born in like 2010 to 12, so like 15 to 13. I love it when we've got people that are like 19, 20 in the streams, because there's stuff that I can make jokes about, and people that are 19, 20, 21, 22, they get the joke. If you guys get what I mean. So if I make a joke about being overweight, people that are like 13, 14, they're like, well, you're making jokes about that. I'm like, because I can. Because what schools do now is they're very much like, what's a joke and what's not a joke. But then there's a very fine line nowadays of what's a joke and what's not a joke. But then they don't exactly say it's fine to make a joke. Like, honestly, here's a good thing for everyone. Everyone here everyone here that's like in school now, or has been in school. So, for example, when I left school in 2000 and... Can I get $6 to install my Minecraft? Please, 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 please. You think I have $6? Yeah, no offense, but not going on to people's streams and asking for money is not exactly a way to get money. Plus, Minecraft costs more than $6, so we know you're not buying Minecraft. Minecraft is like $20, at least. In the UK, Minecraft's like 20 quid. But honestly, everyone on here, if you get a comment asking you for money, it's very much a scam. So do not like say yes or anything like that, because it is a scam. Please, I'm 14 years old. So, when I was 13, when I was 14, I didn't go onto people's streams begging for money. They're getting too sensitive. I wouldn't say it's about sensitivity, though. I wouldn't say it's about sensitivity. Everyone's becoming too sensitive, but like 20 years ago, honestly, 20 years ago, fair enough, Imagine Box, yeah, like, no offense, guy, no offense to anyone on here, but you're in Sierra Leone, cool, but you still can't just come onto people's streams and ask them to give you their money. That's not. I never had a paper round, but I started working at 16. I worked in a factory when I was 16. I worked in a factory when I was 16. I haven't worked since 2020, but that was because I was doing uni and college full time. But I am trying to find a job now. No. Literally, you don't go through life begging people on YouTube streams. Like, no offense, you're gonna find out the hard way. You're gonna go through life the hard. You're gonna go through life finding the hard way. If you want money, you work for it. That's not how life works. It's fine to ask, yeah, but it's still wrong. Do you know what? I'm just gonna I'm just going to hide his comment, just because you know I've said no twice. Sorry guys, but I can't stand people like that. That's one thing. I can't stand people that expect something for nothing. Tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday in advance. But yeah, that's just my opinion, guys. My opinion is what's my I was replying to what you said, Beavers. Yeah. So when I was in school, like name calling, when I started year 7, so I started year 7 in school in 2014, in like September 2014. And the first thing we were told is, oh, we've had this girl calling everyone names. Don't report it, because name calling is just name calling. By the time I left school, oh, name calling is so bad, you should call out everything. And some of the name calling that was being called out was things stupid. Oh, so and so called me an idiot. So, that's not really an issue. If you took the piss out of them for being like gay or something else like that, or like a racial slur, if you took, well, not even gay, to be honest, because you can call people gay and not make a joke that they're gay. But if it was like a racial slur or something offensive, but you've got to determine what's offensive. If it was a racial slur, yeah, you report that, but you don't report like name calling. But yeah, I can understand the guns thing. But the gun isn't bad. The people that use it are. You know, you can play a game with a gun and not decide to take a gun and go and murder 30 people. So yeah, I can understand part of the point, but guns aren't exactly bad. Guns have saved lives as well. But I will admit though, guys, I have been quite sensitive in my life. That's the truth though. So I had a person in my streams a couple of months ago bring up slavery, about how British people are evil because of slavery, but I destroyed their point because I said, well, slavery was everyone. Slavery was absolutely everyone. And in fact, one of the darkest points, one of the most evil points of slavery that never gets brought up is the African tribal kings, the kings of the African tribes, actually sold out their own people as slaves. And one of the historical documents uncovered states that one of the kings of Africa told the British, I'll do everything you want, bar end slavery. Because that was the way he got money in to fight his wars and expand his kingdom. But they never mention that bit. There's bits they don't mention, but if you get upset, you don't need someone older to do it. So on a stream recently, two people were having a little argument. They wanted me to sort it out, and I wasn't going to sort it out because the one person was overreacting. The one person was overreactive and couldn't realize it was was overreacting, and the other person was just making a joke. So I wasn't going to ban anyone from the stream. I'm half African. I know this to be true. Which part? Like the bit about some people being sold out by their own people. Yeah, that bit's. I find that bit more horrific. It makes the slave traders not really, violent people, but they were just businessmen. Really, they were just the man in the middle. They were the man in the middle that bought them for a price and sold them for more. Which technically they were just thuggish businessmen, which the same as businessmen nowadays with yeah, slavery's always existed. Slavery existed since the dawn of time. Rome, for example. Rome existed. It was like, in fact, when you say about that, like slavery being common before white people came on boats, there's a lot of history about the Moroccan slave trade. Morocco had a huge slave trading empire in early history. Rome took anyone as slave. Basically, Rome had white people, Asian people, black people. Basically, Rome didn't discriminate with slavery. Yeah, what was it? I'm just going to search this up a sec, because my friend was talking to me about it months ago. Yeah, slavery in Morocco existed since antiquity, so up until the 20th century. So that's the last century. For it existed. Antiquity was like 4,000. When was antiquity? That's what they call really old history. Antiquity. Antiquity was the Parthenon is one of the most recognized symbols of the classic era. Let's just have a look how long ago it was. Yeah, antiquity was literally thousands of years ago. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But you can't blame one person. Like a company, somebody in the a politician in another country wants the UK to pay something like 30 trillion in reparations for slavery. But you can't do that because the whole point is you've got to remember, but you've got to move on. You've got to forgive. You can't blame people born in 2022 from what their ancestors did in 1702. 30 trillion pounds is a lot of money. You're basically bankrupting another country for things that they did 500 years ago. If they did that, the UK would go bankrupt. The UK would collapse. You can't do that. Yeah, but 30, it was something like 30 trillion or something like that, which no. It should be, well, it should never. But also, you should never, they shouldn't have to pay any reparations because, you know, you can't blame people. Nobody is alive from that time period. You can't turn around and blame people. Like, I love this comedian's joke. He turned around and said, I'm not a Nazi. I was born in 1978. I didn't do anything, so why are you blaming me for it? And the comedian, while while quite an offensive joke, he was right. He said, well, he was born in 1978, so he didn't fight in the Second World War. Why should he be blamed for causing it? Which is true. You can't blame people in 2000 now for the sins of the father. Exactly. That's like there was a woman recently, they worked out her father was a serial killer and they were blaming her for it, and like, well, she didn't turn around and tell him to go and kill people, did she? Hello, Wex. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I don't get it, guys. Like, I just don't get it. I firmly believe, guys, that with like history and things like that, they should tell it. Nintendo Switch, so it's not an emulator and it's not Xbox. But yeah, I generally believe, guys, with context of bullying, there's always got to be context, but name calling is not bullying. It might be bullying, but name calling is not something to report because it's only a name. Like, you know, words can't hurt you. A brick might. And honestly, what is the worst type of bullying, everybody? What is the worst type of bullying that you can possibly do to someone? Because I think I know what it is. Oh, there we go. So, I think the worst type of bullying is cyberbullying. Because you haven't got a face to go with the bullying. You haven't got a face to go with the bullying. So, for example, let me think of a good example. So 30 years ago, hello Hikaru Block Street. Nothing that bad happened at my school. Yeah, cyberbullying. Well, not even in schools though. Cyberbullying could be anywhere. But like, I think cyberbullying is the worst form of bullying because you haven't got a face for it. Hello Hikaru Block Street. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you changed your name now to Hikaru Plays. So, you know, 30 years ago, if you wanted to bully someone, you had to do it to their face. 30 years ago, if you wanted to bully someone, you broke your arm today. You alright? That's quite a painful one. Yeah, what was I going to say? I don't actually know, but we can have a look. Game sensitivity, user interface, FOV. I honestly don't know. You can't change your FOV in this version, I don't think. Like, my shoulder's dislocated. Oh. I knew someone that had that with his leg once because a girl jelly-legged him. And it was a wet floor, so his knee went out of line. He dislocated his knee. And they put him on laughing gas as they forced it back into place, which is, you know, quite the painful. But yeah, when I was saying about bullying though, so 20 years ago, what, 25 years ago, if you wanted to bully someone, you had to do it to their face. So there's some people. So if we got anyone here that's like ridiculously tall, if we got anyone here that's like ridiculously tall, not ridiculously tall, but like 6 foot, high 6 foot. Hello, doggy. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Luke Games. Welcome back. Yeah. So have we got anyone on the thing of cyberbullying, guys? Have we got anyone here that's like 6 foot, high 6 foot, maybe low, maybe 5'10" above. Probably 6 now. Yeah. So someone that's 30 years ago, you would, if someone wanted to bully you, they would have to do it to your face. And you know, someone that's like 5'1", you're not going to take them seriously, are you? You're not going to take them seriously. Someone that's 5'1", for example, isn't actually going to bully you to your face because, you know, you're probably like 60, 70 pounds heavier than them. You're almost a foot taller than them. You're not going to do it. Then someone's not going to do it, are they? So I don't bore myself while recording. Oh, cool. Yeah, someone's not going to bully you. 25, 20, 30 years ago, if someone was a lot shorter than you was trying to bully you, they weren't going to do it, were they? Because you're much taller than them, Beavers. You probably weigh a lot more than them, and you know it doesn't work. But now anyone can bully anyone, you know, and it's an interesting one of if someone tried to bully you and you were much taller than them 30 years ago, they got slapped down. They're getting rugby tackled and I'm done. Yeah, 100%. But with cyberbullying nowadays, anyone can bully anyone because you haven't got a face for them. They can do it behind a screen, so they're not exactly in the punching range. They're not in the. But I have South African shoulders too. Yeah. Yeah. So you're not gonna. If you're bullying someone cyberbullying. If you're cyberbullying someone, you're not in the punching range because you're behind the screen. They don't know who it is. That's why I think cyberbullying's the worst, because it enables people that wouldn't actually bully you to your face to bully you. And it's interesting. I don't think you get told how pretty your world is enough. Thank you. It's really kind of you. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on here over the years. Eventually, I will have to move it to Bedrock though, because I will run out of stuff. A lot of this is new stuff, so this was all built 2022 plus. Some of this, most of that stuff is like 2018 plus. Bar that building there was 2025 because I built it to celebrate 5K. I'm gonna do a world tour sometime. I'm going to do a world tour where I go for absolutely everything that I've ever built on here. Because we've built a lot. I've got a video on my channel, guys, of what the world looked like in 2016. And I did absolutely everything. And that video was 45 minutes long. This is probably going to be a 2 hours. If I did a world tour in a few weeks' time, the stream would probably be 3 hours. It would probably be 3 hours, because if I went and did absolutely everything, it would probably be a 3-hour stream. Because in the last 6 years, I've built so much more than you could possibly. Yeah, this world is old. I'm hoping to be still playing on this world in 10 years' time. That would be cool. In 10 years' time, it'd be like this world is 19 years old. In 10 years' time, this world would be 19 years old. Yeah, it'd be older than some people watching this stream now, probably. If I'm still streaming in 10 years. But I don't know, because I don't know if I'll be streaming in 10 years. I might be busy in 10 years. No one knows what I'm going to do in 10 years. I don't know where I'm going to be in 10 years. I might be dead. You don't know. You honestly don't know. I need to go to Asda. How long are you streaming for? I don't know yet, because I've already streamed today. I streamed FIFA for 3 hours. I'm going to stream for a little bit longer. Trump will be 6 feet under in 10 years. I have no idea, Pixel King, but... What? No, he'll have to be 6'3" under. Pixel King, he'll be 6'3" under. Because apparently Trump's 6'3", which he's not. You're dead. Thinking about you dead kind of hurts me. Well, I'm just making a joke. Honestly, I'm making a joke. Yeah, and I find you nice to watch on your streams. You know, thank you, thank you. I don't know when this stream's going to end though, because I have got my book open at the same time. We were just talking about people who can't just take a joke. Yeah, but it was a joke. But it's all right. It actually, that is true. Talking of which, what Pixel King said about Donald Trump being 6 foot under. Donald Trump keeps claiming he's 6'3". He's not 6'3". Trump is not 6'3", everyone. There's a photo of him and Prince William from a few weeks ago, and Prince William's 6'3". Trump looks about 5'11". Trump looks about 5'10", 5'11" at most. He looks about 5'10", 5'11" at most in that image. What are you reading? I'm not. I publish novels. I publish novels on Amazon, so I've actually got the book open. Yeah, Trump ain't 5'4". I think he's about 5'10", 5'11". Maybe 6 foot, but he's definitely not 6'3". Yeah. Yeah, on Amazon, I write books. I actually publish books. So I've got my book open that I'm working on. I'm writing a book at the moment called Dawn of Planets: One's War. So I brought out three. I wrote 4 books so far. I wrote 6, but I've wrote Archipelago in 2023. I published Dawn of Planets: Vengeance and Dawn of Planet. I wrote Dawn of Planets: The Attack from Space and Dawn of Planets: Vengeance in 2024. I wrote Dawn of Planets... I published Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm in 2000... I published Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm in 2025. And I published The Dollmaker in 2025. I'm currently working on Dawn of Planets: One's War, but I'm also writing a horror story at the same time. Yeah, that's the stuff I'm doing. So I'm not reading, I'm writing. So, should I read the first page? Should I read the first page of One's War, just to build up some hype? A news camera was aimed at a desk. Through the camera, the picture was a little blurry at the start, but focused in on a young man in a suit at a desk. The events of May 1st will be with me for the rest of my life. The number of lives lost will haunt me for years and years to come. My thoughts and prayers go out to each and every one of you. My government will strive to draw out these terrorists and anyone else determined to harm the people of this world and this union. We will not rest. We will not be dissuaded from the task ahead. We will move mountains and heaven above to rid our union of these monsters. We, ever your servants, shall and will never back down to anyone at home or abroad. A new era was dawning upon the Imperial Union. The past 3 weeks had seen a seismic change. That's what I wrote so far. Well, it's not what I've wrote so far. I've got like another 15 chapters wrote. That was the first page. Can I get $6 to install Minecraft? Yeah, you've already commented that. You've already commented that on another account, and I said no. So I said no, and now you're on a different account. $6 to install Minecraft. No, you're not gonna. You can say please. You can say please all you want, but you don't go through life going on to other people's things and demanding their money so you can buy a game. That's not how life works. If you want money, you work for. If you want money, you work for it to get what you want. Like honestly, if I did that when I was 14, 13, I'd have been a laughing stock. To try and scam me. Yeah. I'm not demanding. Well, you are. $6 to install Minecraft, please. That's demanding. That is demanding. If you're in prison, you don't turn around and go to the guards, shorten sentence or freedom. You don't turn around and go, I want. What's the next bit? What I'm thinking about? If you were in prison, you don't walk up to the prison warden and go, lesser sentence, please. There we go. But it's true, guys. Like, please forgive me if I demand. Sorry. Yeah, I forgive you, but yeah, you're never going to get money. You're never if you go. It's wrong. Other people have worked hard for their money. Guess what? That's literally what my dad did, and guess what? The judge complied. What? I want to shorten sentence. Some people do that. Some people plead to the lower sentence, hoping that you'll just agree, hoping that the witness would just agree. And if you don't, then oh, I love this line. This is one of my favourite lines. Why did you come here for your suit, Agent 1? You could have gone to many of the biggest tailors in the Imperial Union. Why me? Asked the tailor. I had a say. I had a say in what I wanted the new military suit to look like. All the others told me what it would look like, whereas you told me what did I want it to look like. So that's why I chose you. That's why I chose you. I'm trying to make the dialogue with this one. I'm trying to make the dialogue seem nicer. I want people to absolutely love the characters in this story. A couple of in Dawn of Planets 1's War, a lot of the characters from the previous ones do come back. I understand that. I understand that, but it's not. No matter what's going on in your life, you can't go onto people's YouTube streams or out in the street and just demand money from them so you can buy stuff, because that's not how life works. That's not how it works. People have worked hard for their money. Why should they give it away to someone that just wants it to buy video games? Please forgive me. No, we do forgive you, but I'm just saying that's not how you would do it. There are people that do that. I've had someone do that to me before. Oh, can you play Minecraft? What was it? Can you there was somebody that wanted me to buy him a 60 quid game once. I'm like, no. Just a random person in the stream asked me to buy them a game. I'm like, and that's the type of person I hate, though, that fabricates a story. But yeah, I love storytelling, guys. I love storytelling. It's one of my favourite things. So when you guys see a story from me, I have crafted it. When you see a book from me, guys, or a story from me, I have But if it's like a genuine fictional story, then I have crafted it, and I know what the story is, because that's something that I absolutely love. I love storytelling. It's my favorite thing in the world. I love storytelling more than Minecraft. So yeah, because you've actually read one of them, Loot Games. Who's your favourite character? I remember you saying Agent 3. I remember you saying Agent 3. I remember that's what you said to me on stream. I will admit though, I really like writing her. I really like writing Agent 3 because she's pretty much she's Agent 1. She's basically the absolute opposite of Agent 1. Whereas Agent 1 can be uncaring, she is caring. They're both Agent 1 and 3 are very much the opposites of each other. She's very much techie and very much Agent 1's very meticulous with his planning, but has a short fuse and will react harshly to things, where she and Agent 2 are very much his reiner inners, and they rein in some of his more crazy ideas. It's an interesting concept. I like the concept of that. I absolutely love writing Agent 2 and 3 because they're just crazy characters. I'm making him an actor in the in the next story. He becomes an actor because he's always wanted to do that. Do I have a job? No, I don't. Not at the moment. I've been turned down for 3 recently. I applied for 3, but I've been turned down from 3. I applied for 3, but I've been turned down for 3. Bye. Yes, you're unemployed. Why are you happy by that? It means I don't get any money in. Yes, I'm unemployed. Which is probably why I'm streaming right now and writing my book. I've been focusing on writing my book stuff. Well, not technically. This is work. Well, this is not work, but technically I get paid by it. So, well, this is not work. This is not work, but then technically it is work because technically I get paid by YouTube. So technically it is a job. So technically I do have a job. Technically this is my job. Technically my job is to go and film for you guys. Yeah, the only way I get money is writing books. Well, the streams as well. I get money from the streams, but I don't actually get anything from the books. I want to work for you. What? Yeah, but I don't earn anything. I don't need anyone to work for me, I'm afraid. I've had someone try and bribe me to give them an editing job, a paid editing job before, which I edit my videos myself because I'm a trained video editor. But yeah, no, I don't actually get anything from the books Loot Games because I don't sell any. Because I don't sell any of the books because I don't actually sell any. I haven't sold a book in like 5 months. So to actually get something from them books, I would need to actually get something from those books, I would need to actually get something from those books, I would need to sell like yeah, to actually get something from them books, I would need to actually sell like, you know, a couple of thousand a month. I would have to sell like a couple of thousand a month. you know, for a couple of hundred a month, but I don't. I'm hoping I've just written an 18 rated horror film and I've just written an 18 rated horror story and published it a few months ago. So I'm hoping I can promote that across October, across Halloween. I'm hoping I can promote that a bit. In fact, I'm gonna read that out. I'm gonna do a live reading of that, guys. So I might have to take out a couple of words that some of the shit that the guy does. I might have to just read, but I am gonna read it. I am gonna read The Doll Maker on stream. But The Doll Maker is 18 rated, everyone, because it is a horror story. Can I work for you? I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not, because that is not what I do. I don't actually have an office or anything like that. I just technically get paid by YouTube because I'm monetized. So I'm not. It's not a job. But then that just comes across as you're desperate. It comes across as you're desperate for money. So you're asking somebody on their stream to hire you. Which is technically wrong. But yeah. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Thank you for joining the live stream. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you to the people who subscribed, by the way. As it stands, we're heading down, ready to hit 100. But yeah, I'm unemployed, yeah, but that's not something to think about, because I'm not really generating any money. I'm not really generating any sort of money, which is not good. To live, you need money, and I don't generate any. But yeah, I will probably end this stream in a minute, guys, because it's almost 7 o'clock. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.